All right, it says we're live, and now we can see ourselves. So whenever you guys get back in here, we'll hope you found us.
Yeah, hopefully, because I really stinks that we're mucking through on the other one, and now I don't see Copperhead, and there was a few other people.
They're coming.
That were in the other one, and we had to log out. So like I was mentioning in the other messed up video, we couldn't see ourselves. We could only see the image of Paul. And so we were trying to get a dash and it wasn't working, and so he had to cancel out the other one. And so we're back.
Glad you found us.
And someone's here. I'm not sure who that is. So hello. If you guys are here, please put it in the comments because we'd love to know that you guys are here.
Hey, our Backwoods Homestead.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Sorry for the mess up earlier. I see you guys. Thank you. Earlier, I'm not sure if you were in the other one. It was a mess.
Thank you.
Too. Thank you. Yeah, the other one, we could just see Paul going like.
Oh, are you getting? I guess you were getting a text.
It's you. All right, so we got some people coming in. Thank you guys. Sorry for the mess up on the other one.
I'm glad you found your way back.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
Oh, we figured it out because we're the ones that messed it up.
Take two.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing tonight? Big Blue Homestead. Hello.
Oh, thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate the fact you're making dinner. You're still listening to us. We appreciate that.
I'm gonna bring you a little closer.
So this time we have a little bit of a different angle. We flipped it around because Paul was messing with the monitor. Oh, you're watching the hay video. Thank you.
So normally the monitor is like right back in here. No, the laptop, we sit the laptop here and then we're facing the opposite direction. And there's a monitor right behind where the laptop is right now. So what we were trying to do is we were trying to use that monitor as a second screen. And we were trying to figure out how we could take a display in StreamYard. There's another app that you can use on YouTube, which is like a secondary streaming app. So you link that to your YouTube live, and then you're able to bring on guests or bring on, like we could shrink us and put us over here in the corner, and then in this whole majority of the screen, we could have another video play, or we could bring on a display or show a picture or something that would something that we could discuss. You know, when we were thinking about showing different parts of our video or showing some different pictures that we could talk about, but we weren't able to get that to work out right.
Yeah, and if I remember right, you got that idea from Olive Farms, right? To give them a shout out because normally they do like a Tech Sunday, and they go on and they talk about different information that can improve your channel, and so they use it quite often. I think that's all they use, right?
Yeah, they use StreamYard for every live stream.
Hey, Copperhead, thank you for coming back.
Hey, Copperhead. Glad you found us.
Yeah, sorry about the mix-up. We appreciate you guys making me laugh. He's like, there's a rainbow, there's this and that. I'm all, no, we lost Copperhead.
Yeah, I didn't realize how important it was to actually see the people, like see yourself on the screen, because then you know if you're in frame or not and what it looks like. So we had no idea what it looked like whatsoever. So
the rainbow's right there. Paul moved it down. So I know that Backwoods was asking, I think that's who, yes, it was Backwoods. They were asking if that's our tractor. So in the hay video that we just put out earlier today, that's not our tractor. So we went to a farm. You call it a farm?
Yeah.
That they do hay. So Paul had found the link on Craigslist. And so it's about 2-hour drive from where we live. And so we went over there. And so it was his tractor putting it in there into the trailer. So it's our truck and trailer, but it's theirs. And then Big Blue House was saying that their hen was covered with dough. And what are you doing?
It's about to be covered with dough.
Oh, you're right. So what are you making? And thank you so much. I thought it was so sweet. You're like, great information all the time. I'm like, oh, thanks.
We try to share and give you helpful things. We like your channel too, Big Blue Homestead. Big Blue House Homestead. Hey, Brian, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Thanks for watching the hay video.
And then Backwoods asked about StreamYard. So we couldn't get it to work. So Lola Farm has recommended it. And so Paul was here for about an hour, my love.
Yeah, I actually didn't even get into trying StreamYard out. I was basically messing with the laptop, trying to tie in the second monitor. So I didn't even get to start into trying StreamYard. So I'll have to do that later.
Oh, so then Copperhead was asking, what are these? So we have Craft Mondays with the kids. And so they're little figurines made out of egg cartons. And so I'll show you one.
Kind of blurry looking back there.
So we painted it on a little cardboard, and that's an egg carton.
It's like 3.
If you could see it or not. Yeah, so it's a cute little, so the other one's a kitty, and then the other one's a little plant that Caspian made for me. So that's what that is.
I want to take off my jacket. It's getting hot in here.
And then let's see here. Copperhead asked if we got our plants.
We did get our plants.
Go and get your plants. Oh, did we go and get our plants?
Yeah.
Yes, and so we did go, and we were talking to him about it. So you can go ahead.
Yes, so we did get our plants, and we made a video all about it. We went down to Crossville, Tennessee, which is it's about an hour and 45 minutes from us. We went there on Tuesday. It was a good time. Actually, Tuesday turned out to be a really nice day. Monday, it was raining really hard, and we actually didn't go out but to feed the animals. On Monday, it was raining so hard that we didn't go out but to feed the animals. And then we thought we were going to get rained out, but then Tuesday, it got up to like almost 70 degrees. I think it was like 68. And we're kind of noticing a little trend because a month before, on New Year's Day, we had another day like that. So we'll see what happens when it comes around to January, March 1st, and see if we get another trend like that. So I don't want to give away too much information, or you're not going to have to watch the video to catch it all. But we got a ton of plants. We got a bunch of nut trees. We got, just to name off a few, we got pecan, chestnut, hazelnut. We got some fruit trees, fruit bushes. We got elderberry, currants. I know that Copperhead was very interested in the currants, so we got a variety called Titania, and he didn't have any that were already rooted, so we took a couple cuttings of the currants, and I actually put those in a couple spots around the property. I got 5 of those cuttings, and I just put them in the ground. Hopefully it's not too cold. Hopefully they'll do okay.
So Brian was saying nice artwork. So thank you, Brian. And then Bravo's here. Oh, Bravo, thank you. And then she says she wants one. So I will make the kids make you one. And then Billy came in, Black Bean, and Nathania. So welcome, welcome. We're excited you guys are here.
Man, there's 2 Bravos on here. Look at that.
Yeah, feeling the love.
Welcome, Bravos.
And Erica goes, hello, Billy Willie. And Erica said, hello, my friend Erica. That was cute.
That's cool.
So Black Bean says 3. So
3 what?
Is your last name Bravo? Oh,
Hello,
girly,
Alicia.
hello, girly, hello. There's 3 Bravos. Oh, Black Bean is Manny.
Ha!
That's right. See, yeah, it's Manny. I just remember, I'm like, wait a minute, that's his YouTube name.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he does music, and he has it on there. And I just remembered your favorite. Yes. Like, I just remembered. That's right. That's Manny. So hello, welcome.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you spending some time with us.
And Manny said, are you talking about the kids when you say animals? That was good. Let me see.
Where did it say that?
Up there.
Oh.
The very top. So Copperhead, yeah. So Paul did a video on all of you guys. I was thinking of you in particular because of the cuttings. I know that he was asking the type of plant that you wanted while we were there. Right now, I'm drawing a blank what it was that Copperhead wanted.
He wanted the currants.
Yes, that's what it was.
He was looking for some. And the type of variety of elderberry that we got was called Bubby. It's from a farm in New York called Twisted Tree Farm. And the guy that runs its name is Akiva Silver. And that's where the guy that we got them from. So their origination is from Twisted Tree Farm in New York.
Isn't that the one that Edible Acre talks about?
Yeah. Yeah, if you watch Edible Acres at all, he references Twisted Tree Farm a lot.
Yeah, and it was actually really neat to go and check out a different farm. I know that I didn't do any video because actually Paul was working with him and he has a little baby. He was so adorable, but it was nap time for the baby. And so they're both trying to get plans and they're trying to talk and the baby is just not having it. And his mom works. So he had care of him. So I ended up getting the baby and I got my baby fixed and he smelled all delicious, but I put him to bed and I couldn't record. And he was a big baby, like he was a healthy baby. So I couldn't like record and hold him. It was one or the other. So I ended up recording. So I got footage, but I wasn't able to get as much as I would have.
Yeah, it'll make a good video. I'm sure we got enough. And then we did a video of all the different plants that we got when we got home, just to show all of those. Black Bean says, how did you get all that hay out of your trailer? So we actually don't take it out. It weighs too much. It weighs like 875 pounds for each one of those bales. If we really needed to take it out, what we could do is tie a chain to it or a rope and then like pull the trailer away from it and drag it out of the trailer. But we don't really need to use the trailer immediately. We're actually about halfway done with one of the bales. And a lot of that is because we're taking the hay and wherever the grass is low, like where there's bare ground, we're putting a lot of that hay on the ground. So in the video, I mentioned that there was a number of different reasons that we got the hay. One of them was to feed the animals, obviously. And we're actually feeding the rabbits. We could have put a little clip of that. But we're feeding the rabbits a lot with that hay. About a month ago, we learned that the rabbits should be eating about 60% of their diet in hay or grass. And we didn't know that. The guy that we got rabbits from, he just fed them 100% rabbit pellets. But we're learning now that it's actually way more cost effective for us to feed them the hay as well. So first reason we got the hay was for the animals. Second reason was to help reseed with good grass seed with grass and other broadleafs like the clover that's also in there. So it'll have those seeds in it. So as we're feeding the animals, the seed is also getting spread out. And then the third reason is to basically mulch areas that are very low. So one thing that we're really learning is if the ground's not covered with something, then believe it or not, one of the most destructive forces that there is in nature that removes and degrades the topsoil, which is the most nutrient dense part of your soil, is rain. So when the rain hits the topsoil and it continues to hit it, it makes that dirt and all those grains of soil there, it makes them soluble, or it makes them float in water, and it suspends them in the water, and then it actually runs them off and can take them off your property, takes them into the waterways, down the creeks, into the rivers, and then they go away. So we're learning that, especially now that we don't have a lot of plant material, the grass is not growing and the grass isn't in place, we need to keep that ground covered with something else. So we're taking a lot of that hay and spreading that all over the place, especially where the ground is really bare.
Hello, Everett. He said hello. Sorry we missed your first hello, so we apologize. And then going back to what you're saying, I noticed that on my paths, you put a lot of hay. Mm-hmm. And so earlier, was it today? No, yesterday, we were walking around the property. I was recording for him, and he was showing me the difference on that. So he was talking about the water collecting on the top and coming up, and you could actually see my path very clearly in comparison to the grass surrounding it. Not only because it's trodden on more, but even just the vegetation on it is a lot drier and deader. And he's like, look at this. I'm like, well, that's my path. And he's like, yeah. And then he began to explain that. So he's been putting some grass on some hay on my path, which is nice because it also creates a type of barrier from the water. I noticed that when you do that, I'm not really trudging through the mud anymore because it's like that little padding.
Yeah, so we're learning, just as a kind of a recap, that any kind of bare soil is not a good thing. It's actually very negative. So we always want to keep it covered with something. Like in the garden, we have it covered with leaves and wood chips. We went out of our way to collect a bunch of. We actually filled up half of the trailer with leaves that we picked up in Louisville when we were up in Louisville. Earlier on in fall, when all the leaves were coming down, you could drive down the streets in a lot of these bigger cities, and they'll actually have them all bagged up, just sitting by the side of the road. And once a week, or sometimes even twice a week, the city has a whole division that comes through and just picks up the leaves, because they see it as like a nuisance, like it's a waste, and they just want to get it out of their yards. But we take that and we see it as a free fertilizer.
Yeah, people look at us funny, like, why are you taking our leaves? What are you doing?
You look like a bunch of leaf bandits.
Yeah, like now we see them, especially if there's like a large collection of them, we'll like pull up and like everybody will start like not everybody, because I don't. Let's be honest. Kids and Paul hop out. And like gangsters, and they like go grab the bags and take them back to the trailer.
Yeah, it looks like we're doing some like evil operation or something.
Or taking people's leaves. So Brian mentioned that he also feeds his rabbits hay. And then if I remember correctly, Brian said that he watched our hay video earlier. So thank you, Brian. We really appreciate that. And then he said carrots, soybeans with rabbit pellets. So I know that they were saying that carrots are rich in sugar. So do you do that frequently? Do you give them carrots? I'm just asking because that's what we heard, and I haven't really done any research. But if you're feeding it, it obviously works. Then you're getting it down. Like being real well, then you getting it down.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any problem with carrots. It's something natural. I don't see why it would be an issue.
I forgot who it was. Like, don't feed them too much carrots. It's too much sugar.
I fed them some carrots, and I've had them not even eat them. They rather eat the pellets. And I found out that the pellets have quite a bit of molasses in it to make it sweet. So they see those pellets as a little snack, like a little sweet snack.
Like a little treat.
So we're trying to cut down to only have probably 15 to 20% of their diet in those pellets, and use a lot more hay. We're actually taking a lot of cuttings too. There's an apple orchard right across the way, and we take the prunings from the apple orchard and we bring them into the rabbits. And we've been trimming some of our fruit trees, peach trees, and crab apples around our property, and we take those into the rabbits, and they chew the bark all off them. I think it's good for them to have something that's kind of hard that they'll chew on. I think it's good for their teeth. Plus, there's different minerals in those plants that they're not going to get out of those pellets.
So yeah, see, Brian said once a week. That makes sense. He gets a carrot. That makes sense. Thank you, Brian, for explaining it. Actually, funny story. So Paul and the kids have been commissioned by the neighbor to pick up sticks. They sing the song every time, they pick up sticks, someone. So they go over, then they pick up sticks, and they're piling it for him in this pile that he wants. But every once in a while, they'll bring sticks home. So we have like a little pile of walking sticks from this apple tree. But Paul puts them in the barn, in the tobacco barn. And some animal is in there eating the apple tree bark. So we don't know what's in there, but something's eating them. He's like, when was it the other day? He was like, something's eating all my bark.
Well, they're not eating all of it. A couple days I could see that they were being chewed on, and I thought it was a rabbit when I told her. I thought maybe a wild rabbit was getting in there and chewing on those twigs. What you call these prune? They're little prune sticks that we collected. But then I saw the chickens. Believe it or not, the chickens were sitting there, and I saw them in the act of doing it. And the chickens were sitting there picking at the apple tree twigs, and they were pulling off the bark and eating it.
Oh, so it's them little rascals.
It's the chickens.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't get that update.
They're either smart and they found food, or they're just too hungry. They got hungry. But we feed them pretty good. They're getting some good feed right now. We've been finding a lot of grocery store scraps. Hello, Don Thomas, the Time Lord. I'm assuming you're a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, are you a Doctor Who fan?
Yeah, he asked the question if we were Doctor Who fans. He saw something. I forget where he saw it. He was watching.
Oh, there's something right there.
Yeah.
It's right there behind you. It's David. Yes.
But he saw something else in another video and asked if we were Doctor Who fans. So my wife is the big Doctor Who fan. I watched a couple of the episodes, and I'm not really into sci-fi a lot. But.
Actually, it's funny because I am like the geek of us. I like
Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who.
It's a big BBC thing, British Broadcasting Channel.
Yeah, so welcome, Ben. I think this is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, welcome, Ben Peters.
Hello. So yes, I'm the big geek of us, and so I have all kinds of, I like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who, and so yes, you can actually see my fads in that one picture frame back there. So kindred spirits. Hello, Jason. I'm from Gallifrey. I love it.
I don't know what that means.
That's another Doctor.
It means something to her.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Nothing to me.
Yeah, so actually the 9th, 10th, and 11th Doctor are my favorite. And then I've watched a few since, but those are definitely my favorite. So actually that was one of my Christmas gifts, that the kids had some money and they got me the digital copies on Vudu. So now I can lay in bed just watching my Doctor Who stuff. So I got distracted with so what kind of fertilizer? Don was asking.
Yeah, Don, you're asking about fertilizer. So we don't bring in any synthetic chemicals at all. Nothing that you would consider like modern fertilizer. We don't use like ammonium nitrate or any of those. We basically use, trying to think of the word. We use natural materials that we're finding, either on our site or we're bringing on. Like I was talking just probably about 4 or 5 minutes ago. You may have missed it, but we were talking about collecting leaves from the fall leaf drop. So all these people are going around collecting their leaves and they're sending them off their property. And probably one of the main reasons that they're doing that is because they believe that it kills their grass. But we actually go around and we pick up those leaves and we add them to the garden this time of year. That's what the forest does. That's how the forest keeps its nutrient cycle going.
We actually have a video that William Conrad, yeah, your dad, but anyways, they're unloading all the leaves, and we still haven't posted it. It's been a while. So the trailer was literally full of leaves.
Yeah.
It was really neat. The kids and the dogs went crazy, just like the hay. The other day, guys, I was going into the RV and I saw the back of the truck open. I look over and Catspian pops his head and like through the hay. And I'm like, what are you doing in there? And then Luna's head pops out and then a cat pops out. I was like, what is going on? They were all in the trailer in the hay. So welcome, Lala Farms. Hello, hello. So we have, I'm not sure when it was that you joined us, Lala Farms, but we've mentioned you guys a couple times. So we are being inspired by, remind me, Tech Sunday?
Yeah, they're not doing one today, but they do a Tech Sunday most Sundays. And they do a lot of things to help people that are trying to create and making live streams. A couple new people came in. Ben Peters, I think we did mention you. Thanks for joining us. And then Tamfer, hello.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for subscribing. We appreciate that. And David Craig. David says, I'm from the desert, but I have no idea what leaves are. So you'll learn, David. We know David, and we've known David for a long time. Thanks for stopping by, David. I appreciate it.
So yes, and then so going back to Lala.
To Lala Farms and the Tech Sundays. So we're actually experimenting with our monitor setup. We're trying to get a second monitor set up so that we can utilize, information off to the side, and then we want to install the StreamYard software so that we can start using that. I think it'll be really helpful. We just haven't got it all in place. So hopefully the next live stream that we do next Sunday will have StreamYard in place, and that will allow us to kind of manipulate the display. Like I was saying before, we can take and we can have different guests on. We could bring some of you guys on if we wanted to, and have a dialogue with you on the screen, so we could split the screen, so we could have one of you or 5 others of you. The free version has up to 6 additional people that you can have, but then you can also take additional information. Like if you wanted to show a picture, you could bring a picture up onto the screen and talk about that picture. So yeah, we have really been finding that tech session very helpful. We appreciate you guys for doing that. And if you guys are not subscribed to Lala Farms, or you haven't heard of them, feel free to check them out. I think you'll get a lot of useful information. They're also a homesteading channel, and they have I think it's 55 goats now. Their kidding season this year produced, I believe, 32 goats, if I'm not mistaken. So Lala, who is Miss Lala, it's kind of a funny word to say, Lala.
Lala. And then actually, before we move on, also the avatar, they mentioned about changing the avatar. And so that's something that Paul has been really he's been brainstorming and we're trying to figure out, and he's like showing me different things. And so
the logos.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the logo. So yes, inspiration. We are taking the information and trying to process it. But as you guys know, it's a process. So yes, you're welcome for the shout out and thank you so much. And when I do remember you were saying that you were going to trim trees today, right? Am I thinking right? That's the reason why Lala didn't do, was it Lala? Yes. Trimming trees today, so they were not gonna do a session today.
Yeah, he had some other work to do. He said something right there. I'm not sure what he said. He said something about working on something.
Yeah, I said work. I'm not seeing it, but I know that's what it said. This weekend, so no tech session today.
And then Don Thomas says, what is the hardest thing you tried growing in the garden? There was a lettuce mix that I got from Baker Creek, and I put it in like right in the middle of summer, and everything germinated. It kind of came up, and then it just all died. Like it all kind of like withered. So I'd say that's probably the hardest thing. Sometimes germination can be tricky, like with carrots. Carrots can be tricky with germination. One thing that we've learned is if we place something solid over the carrots, like a piece of cardboard or tarp or something like that, that the carrots will germinate. You only want to leave it over there probably for about a week. Just keep checking on it. We have had some difficulty with the carrots before we learned that. But besides that, we actually have not gone into full production in our garden yet. So this year will be the first year that our garden is really established. So last year was basically trying to set up the garden and get the garden installed. And then this year, now we'll actually have, a whole set of a whole year of fertilization going on in the garden. So this year it should produce very well. I just saw Jules come in.
Yes.
And welcome, Jules. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. It says Little Rick was trimming. Big Rip ran 300 feet of water line to the greenhouse. Oh, nice.
Nice.
That sounds like some work.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm like, yes, he was trimming. Sometimes I forget. So, yes, welcome, Jules. And then Jason mentioned time. What?
I think it's a play on words. Read it a couple of times. Go ahead.
No, I now don't know.
Time. I try to plan it, but I never have enough.
I just got it.
Yeah, if you're a gardener, you've seen the time pun a couple times. I actually have some time. I'll go get it for you.
I was literally crying. So Lala mentioned that they love fresh thyme.
I brought in some thyme.
More time.
Here's some German thyme that we have in the shed. It's actually the craft room that we're in. This isn't a Miracle-Gro plant, by the way. I just reused pots. I found this pot. The craft room that we're in is actually inside of a workshop. So this room is 10 by 12, and it's inside of a 30 by 30 steel building. So we kind of built it into here. But we bring all these little herbs that we have in pots into the workshop in the winter so they don't freeze. But this time, if anyone doesn't know this, a lot of you probably all already know this, but a lot of herbs, you can take them and you can literally do this. This is exactly how I planted this thyme. Don't put this.
I'm laughing at the thing.
I don't have a, let me see.
You need scissors?
No, I got a knife right here. This little sprig right here, this is German thyme. The way I planted this whole plant was I just took this and I put it in moist potting soil, and it started a brand new plant. Any of the mints will do that. Thyme obviously will do that. That's the one I'm telling you about. But a lot of the herbs will do that. I've done it with rosemary. I've done it with, when you do it with rosemary or basil, you want to get a little bit of the woodier part of it. You can't do it with the very brand new sections of it. But that's one neat thing about the herbs. Figs also, if you take a cutting of the fig, one thing I learned this week is elderberry is similar to that. But you can propagate these plants. You can make new plants very, very easy with these. And I have actually made, like, out of the one plant, I bought one of these plants from the nursery that's local here. And I probably made like 12 of these. And then I just go and put them in different locations once they get going. You can see it has a pretty good established root system on it.
Yeah.
Coming out the bottom.
Don Thomas mentioned that he really liked our sweet potato video. So thank you. We actually had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun recording that one. We definitely had a lot of sweet potatoes.
Yeah, and we still have sweet potatoes.
Oh, and I was laughing with your guys' time. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to like not interrupt him. But the German time, the American time. Oh, I was having a good time about it.
You can go on and on.
Yeah.
It's endless.
But we don't got time for that. So Allison came on. So hello, welcome, Allison.
Hi, Allison. Good to see you.
Yeah. And then Jason asked, wait, I'm missing some. Lala mentioned
scroll down.
Difference between German and American time. Do you know the difference?
I'm not sure. The German seems a little more angry. No, I'm just kidding. The German seems a little more like it has a little more bite to it. It seems stronger, like you have to use a little bit less. But as far as the flavor goes, I don't notice a difference. I don't have any American thyme. I have grown it in the past, and I've grown them together, and I've used them both, but I don't, like I say, I don't know really the difference.
I think I might be chuckling at these jokes about thyme for a while. Oh, thank you, Don Thomas. You mentioned that you really like our camper video, so thank you.
Don Thomas is going through our entire playlist right now.
Thank you. We are very thankful, though, that you guys take the time and watch it.
Feel free to watch as many videos as you like.
And as many as you want. Yeah, we've actually I've learned actually when the Andersons were here, we were showing them clippings of our previous videos. And I'm like, wow, that's so neat to see like the progression. Like, oh, I wouldn't have done it now like that. And I'm sure time from now I'll be like, oh, wow, those videos are really bad. So just seeing like, growth as you learn things. You probably, yeah, I agree. So Jason mentioned that once you're propagating cuttings, it can go endless.
Yep. You can share them with your neighbors. You could sell them. We plan on taking some of the plants that we have to the farmers market this year. We had an annual meeting a couple days ago that we missed, but we plan on doing that. Getting set up at the farmers market. A lot of people that I've talked to at the farmers market say that it's not real not real profitable. Got some time in my throat.
Your dad it seems like everyone's having a good time.
Don't make me kick you out of here.
Sorry.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Yep. You can make some t-shirts.
Yeah, it's true. You could.
You can make some gardener t-shirts. I'm sure they'd sell.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I have like a weird computer. And so like there's been several times that I'm like watching something on the internet and I'll be laughing and Paul's like, is it a cat or is it a Lord of the Rings joke? Because if it's either, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, Paul, check this out. Yeah, I'm mad.
She could watch cat videos all day long.
Yeah, I can. I love cat videos. They make me laugh, literally.
Excuse me.
All right, so Jason wrote. Sorry, I'm reading.
Our strategy currently is to pack as much propagation material in as we can and use it to plant up the acreage. When we get it, loads cheaper than buying all new plants.
That's
Yeah,
true.
definitely. And if you can find somebody who's doing something similar, you can trade plants with them. So the guy that we bought plants from this last Tuesday, I think he was on like 100 acres. And the whole reason that he started his little plant nursery was to populate his property. He doesn't plan on basically setting up swales and permaculture setup throughout the whole property. What he's going to do is leave the majority of it as pasture and hay fields for cattle. But he already has probably about 10 acres that he put in swales, and he has plants that he needs to fill in there, and he started filling in a lot of that space. So that was the whole reason that he started this nursery. So he didn't start it to make a business out of it, but he had so much and it began multiplying so fast that he decided to sell the extras that he had. So once you get going, it's not as hard as a lot of people may think.
So Jason said, plant trading is more fun than Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it's really neat because when we were at that farm and we're talking to him, he was like, oh yeah, I got that from a neighbor. Oh yeah, I got this from this old man over there. And he's like telling us about it. And he's like telling us how he's trading plants. And I know that Paul really enjoyed the time over there trading plants and then even just trading plants here.
Yeah, so not only was he into plants, he's also into permaculture. So it was very, we're very like-minded, and we had a lot to talk about. One suggestion that he gave me, and I hadn't thought of or heard of this before, was talking to your local tree trimmers. He said your local tree trimmers will know where a lot of the productive trees are. He said there's guys that he had dropping off wood chips that he contacted to get wood chips dropped off, and these guys were telling him, there's a fully mature 30-year-old pecan tree over by this church over here, or there's a grove of crab apples over along this roadway that we cut over in this area, or this business has some wild plums over in the back of it. So then he could go out and he could collect these different specimens without having to find them on his own. These local tree trimmers knew of these different trees because they're going out and they're about in these areas day after day. So that was something that I thought was really interesting, and it might help some of you guys. There's also a website called Chip Drop, like wood chip, chipdrop.com, and you can get signed up. You can put in your address, and if there's a company that's also associated, involved with that site, they'll come and they'll drop wood chips off on your property for free, because it's actually beneficial to them when they're doing these. Get chipdrop.com. I thought it was Chip Drop.
Good night, Nala. They're getting ready to go out for dinner. So thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good to see you, Lala. Thanks for stopping by. We do appreciate it. So, Jason, is it Get Chip Drop or is it Chip Drop?
GetChipDrop.com.
It looks like it's getchipdrop.com. Or was he saying getchipdrop.com?
And I know that for me, one thing that I thought was interesting is he was
There
saying.
we go. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate the clarification. I'm not trying to be a donkey. I just
didn't know.
it comes naturally.
So I know that when we were over there, Paul might know this. I didn't know this, but he was talking about that one thing that he had in plan for his near future was to drain the pond and then take all the stuff off on the bottom of the pond and add that to his garden. Because he was saying that after years and years, you have all this fish waste and stuff. So he's going to remove all that and put that into the garden. And I thought that was a little interesting, just the idea of like taking that and putting it in the garden.
Right.
Like I said, you might have known. I didn't know.
Yeah, so there's a lot of silt. I was talking about this earlier in the live stream, how the rain and the different water, when water gets flowing, it takes those nutrients down and it keeps them in the water flow and makes them, water soluble. They get suspended in the water and then they get carried off. So a lot of times where those end up and they get trapped is in a pond. So this guy that we went to visit was talking about, they call it dredging his pond. And basically take a scoop and they scoop all that sediment that's been collected in there for so many years. He said when his dad dug it, I forget how many years ago he said it was, let's say like 20 years ago, when he first dug it, it was 30 feet deep. And now it's only about 15 feet deep because it's collected that much sediment over time. So we don't really have any intention of doing that.
No, I just thought it was
yeah, it's definitely neat. The only thing I'd be worried about with doing something like that is removing the layer of clay. Yeah, the clay that lines it and seals the water from leaking out. Once you start messing with that, I don't know how hard it would be to create a leak if you start disturbing stuff down there.
Because I know our neighbor down the way, they admire our ponds and they're like, we always get a leak on ours. Mm-hmm. And that's when they began to describe that you can actually get a leak in the pond.
Yeah, it can drain out. A lot of times around here, what happens, because our bedrock, the majority of the foundational stone is limestone. If any of you know about limestone, the water creates cavities, and some of the biggest cave systems, actually the largest cave system in the world, is right up the road from us and under us, and it's part of the Mammoth Cave system, and that limestone is known for doing that, for being eaten away and causing huge voids. So a lot of times what happens to the ponds around here is that they get a hole that leads into one of those big caves or caverns, big holes, and it just drains right out pretty quickly.
So Don Thomas asked, what is our favorite sweet potato dish? So that was actually my favorite. It's been the one that William Conrad, Paul's dad, made for us. It was like a dessert. Oh my goodness, it was so delicious. So it was almost like it was a dessert. There was like marshmallows and pecans. And what are you doing?
Look at that. I can do a little pin. I don't know where that went. Oh, I think that's pinning it like to the top of the.
He's distracting me by pinning. Yeah, because I know that Lala on theirs, they have the little question that comes up like right here. I mean, that's like their software that they do.
Oh, I can add moderators too. Hey, Jason, write something. You're now a moderator. I didn't know I could add moderators right into right in the chat here. I thought I had to be on the YouTube studio. That's pretty cool. Something. Jason's got a blue wrench.
So actually, we got about 10 minutes before it's time for us to log out. So do you guys have any questions that you guys would like to ask before we log off? And you're like, oh, I wanted to ask them something, and I didn't have the chance. You're distracting me, Paul.
Yeah, I know on StreamYard they have a thing where it'll have like a little board right here in this area, and it'll show like the comment that you're talking about.
That's right. Copperhead asked earlier, and I meant to answer you about the subscriber dance. So yes, he asked if we still do our subscriber dance. You know, like the one that we did in the
yeah.
So yes, as a matter of fact, we do. Like today earlier, he was on there and he's like, we got 400, and I forgot the number he said, and we were all. Yeah. So yeah, we still do the dance. But we're coming up to Louisville. Oh, soon, I hope, Allison. I hope very, very soon. We love going up there to visit Allison. We go up to Louisville. We try at least once a month to visit them, and so we want to go up there and visit them. How long have we been married? Don Thomas asked. We have been married 13 years, going on 14 in May. My twin sister and I were talking, and she's like, our 14-year anniversary is coming up, because she got married the same year that I did. She got married 1 month before me. And I'm like, really? And yeah, it's going to be 14 years.
14 years, 2017.
So we were
2007.
Yeah, 2007. So yeah, it's coming around the corner. Let me see here. Oh, Black Bean, when are you going to come and visit us again soon? Actually, I was asked your mom if you were going to have a graduation party, because I need an excuse to go up there. Paul doesn't know this yet.
You guys got to come and visit us one of these days.
Yeah. I told your mom she might have that little piñata. I have a piñata chime thing in the corner of my craft room. You saw it in my company. It's in that corner. Actually, that reminds me. We have that thing about the hay video that you wanted to ask. But yeah,
maybe we'll do that on another one. Okay.
So yes, you guys got to come and visit us.
Do you want to do that? What would you call it? A trivia question?
Yeah, trivia question.
Okay, here's a trivia question for you. And the winner of this trivia question will get 3 seed packets. I'll bring in the seed packets in a little bit. But here's your question. On the video that we released today, it's called Hay Day. It's about us going and getting organic hay. There's a portion at the beginning where I am, it's basically a picture of me like this. I'm driving. So we get in the car, it shows the kids waving because we're about to take off. And then we're driving down the road. And in the background, there is an audiobook. What audiobook is playing in the background? This is a tricky one. But for 3 seed packets from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, what is that audiobook?
Dun, 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 dun. And then Copperhead mentioned that we got 2 new subscribers in this chat screen. So yay! And then we all so we all dance.
We can't end right away because we started later when we moved.
So Copperhead, you mentioned my sister and I got married a month apart. Yeah, so I am a twin. My twin sister got married in April, and I got married in May. So we actually all when I say all, as in my sister and her her husband, and Paul and I, we actually paid for our weddings along with some help. And so thankfully the load did not fall on my mom. My mom's a single parent. So we didn't want to put that stress on her. And so I think it was more of an emotional hardship than anything else. I was blessed. So I have a lot of sisters. And so my sisters and family and friends, they all stepped up and they helped us with the wedding. And so that definitely helped, because there's a lot of times that I'm like, I can't do this, and they would do it. So that was a blessing. Allison was there at our wedding, I remember. And then so Black Bean said he's going to do a big party. So yes, you have to come and visit us in the summer. I agree. So let me see.
That'd be pretty sweet.
I agree. Allison is saying Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, something English.
Oh,
Wind in the Willows. Oh, she's guessing audiobooks. No. I had to think there for a second. I'll be able to drive up there. It's going to be a long drive, Black Bean. Long drive. Because I think from here to Tucson was like, what, my love, 2 or 3 days drive. It's definitely cheaper and faster if you fly. And then if you go up to Louisville, we can visit Allison while we're there. So Paul is digging through the packets. So it's a hard one.
All right.
Macbeth. That's a good guess. Actually, it's funny you said that, because I was reading the play the other day, but no, it's not Macbeth.
I picked out kind of a variety pack for you. Cilantro, tomato. This is like a smaller Italian heirloom. I can't even say it correctly, I'm sure. Garoppoli di Inverno. And then goji berry. So if you can guess, the book was Mr. Toad. Nope, it's not Mr. Toad. Good guess.
Yeah.
Darn it, I want someone to win, because I want to send you some seeds.
Lord of the Rings? Nope. Actually, Paul can't listen to the Lord of the Rings while we're driving.
Why?
You get tired. He says it gets him sleepy.
Yeah,
He's like, okay, guys. Although David, I'm sorry, is adamant that every time we see like a log cabin, he's like, it's Beyond's house. It's Beyond's house. And I'm like, okay, David, every cabin can't be it. He's like, I can see the bumblebees, Mom. I can see them.
Okay, here's the clue. Like Lord of the Rings, it has a large number of books in the series. Odyssey? No, it's not Odyssey. It's actually Narnia. You got it.
Yeah.
Erica got it. Good job, Erica. The Chronicles of Narnia. So whenever we're on the road, we're listening to some kind of audiobook, and the current one is the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
We're currently listening to, last night we went down to Glasgow to the craft store, do some grocery shopping, and we're listening to Prince Caspian.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Caspian is on the playlist right now.
Yeah, that actually is where Caspian, our son, got his name. So when I was in high school, I was reading, she's doing the happy dance. I was reading that book, and I just fell in love with the name Caspian. I thought it was so beautiful. So when Caspian came around, when David came around, I begged and pleaded, and Paul Conrad was like, nope. And then when Caspian came around, he was like, okay. And I'm so thankful, because I love that name. So we're listening to the whole series, and we're currently on Prince Caspian. We're almost done with that one, actually. So Anna at 4 Days, she just popped in. Hello, hello.
Hey, Anna. Thanks for showing up, Anna.
Yeah. Erica says, I told Manny. He said, no, I knew it. It's true. Which book was it? So Black Bean, yeah, it was the Chronicles of Narnia. And Erica said she's doing a happy dance. So we're doing a happy dance with you.
I came across this seed packet when I was looking through the seeds. the reasons I bought this when I was looking through the catalog was I was looking for a nitrogen fixer. But then when I got this, check out what it says in the back. It says, warning.
Where is it?
The seeds, the pods, and the plants are poisonous. And these are sweet peas, perennial sweet peas. So these are like a wild sweet pea. So you can't eat these. I'm glad I read the packet on that one. So if you're going through the Baker Creek seed catalog and you see sweet peas, perennial sweet pea mix, you can't eat those.
So Copperhead mentioned that he wanted to name his first son Luke Sky. That would have been such a cool name.
Luke Sky.
Yeah, that like just has a really nice.
Oh, because their last name is Walker.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You have to do it. I don't forget having.
You have to make one more, and it has to be a boy.
And he said his wife wouldn't let me. Oh, how sad! Tear.
Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that would have been great. So Don Thomas asked if we like Little House on the Prairie. We do actually. My twin sister. Sorry, guys. My twin sister is more into the Little House on the Prairie series. I'm more of a Jane Austen fan when it comes to like the classics. But my twin sister is always talking about Little House on the Prairie, and so she has all kinds of stuff of Little House on the Prairie. So in this picture frame back here, I have this picture. I don't know how well it's going to come out. So it's David and Victoria. It's not coming out very clear. So they're twins, and so yeah, I went on the Luke and Leia train. I saw that picture, the original. I'm like, I have to take the picture. Didn't come out really good on the monitor. So actually, for my kids and I, we all read the Little House on the Prairie, the actual Little House on the Prairie book for school. So, like I said, my twin sister really likes it. So we are at the 1 hour mark, my love.
Erica will send you these seeds. I was actually just looking at them, and this is like these two would be good for a salsa mix. I'm not sure how good of a salsa that will make, but I found that using cherry tomatoes instead of like a Roma or a big beefsteak tomato, the real big ones, the cherry tomato will it'll put a lot more flesh into the salsa. It'll make it a lot more stable versus runny. So maybe that tomato will work out for you. Hopefully you get to plant that out. And then, cilantro is a good common Mexican relish herb. So I hope to see you guys planting these. That would be pretty neat. And then goji berries should do pretty good up in Washington. So maybe this will be the start of something cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing.
The beans, she said.
One thing you can do is you can go to the Baker Creek website. It's actually rareseeds.com. I don't know if you can see that on there. If you go to that website, they will have different pointers. The back of the seed packet has some information. It has when to plant it and how far apart and that type of stuff. How deep to plant the seeds, the ideal temperature to plant the seeds at. It has that information on the packet. But if you go to the Baker Creek website, it'll actually have people that have grown it and issues that they've had with it or things that they've done to have success with it. So that's one thing that I really like. Even if you don't buy seeds from there, you can still go on there and get a lot of really good information.
So Don Thomas said that their mom likes watching Dr. Quinn. I actually tried to get into it a couple times. Huh?
Jason.
Oh. I tried to get into it a couple of times. I do prefer the Little House on the Prairie. Oddly enough, my kids actually got kind of scared with a few of the series. So now I have to watch the actual series before we watch it as a family, because the one episode that Carrie gets lost, she gets stuck in the mine. Paul started singing this song. He's a little house on the prairie without Carrie. And ever since then, they've been kind of scared. So I have to watch the videos first before we can watch it as a family. So that's kind of a little nugget of information. And then Jason said that they like the berries in a burrito instead of the tomatoes.
No. It's kind of like it's a little fruit berry, so you wouldn't want to put it in a burrito.
Come on. We were watching Lala Farms and I saw that lady had the tattoo of the come on. I saw him on there like, come on. Actually, they just came on, so, or maybe they've been here, but they just commented. So hello, come on.
Hello, come on.
And Old Reading Farm. Hello.
You got to get here earlier next time. Come on.
All right, my love. So we are a little past an hour now. He's reading that.
Huh. Well, you can grow them and see if they taste like tomatoes to you.
See, you really would. Jason really does eat stuff like that.
All right, guys. Well, we want to take a second before we leave just to thank you guys for coming over. And we appreciate you for spending a couple moments with us. Mm-hmm. And those of you that were here from the beginning, bravos. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, along with everyone else that came on.
Along with everybody else.
That came on.
Jason, thanks for joining us. Copperhead.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get kicked out because I had the giggles today, especially with the times. So I'm glad I didn't get kicked out. Yeah, we love you. Can't wait to see you guys.
If you guys don't know, Copperhead Road has a live stream also. They have a live stream at 8 o'clock in 3 hours.
Our kids time it now. They're like, Mom, what time is it? We got to go see Copperhead.
Copperhead's coming on.
Mm-hmm.
So we catch those guys, so we'll be over there. And if you guys are over there, we'll see you over there. If not, we'll see you next Sunday.
Yeah, bye.
You know what? Next Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure if we'll be on yet.
I don't think we should, because last time they had that one. Well,
they had a foosball game, and everybody's watching foosball. But we'll see. We probably won't be on, but if we're not or we are, we'll let you know.
Yeah, bye guys.
Until next time.